Found a horn.
I cast Detect Magic.
It's a horn.
And there was magic on it.
Magical horn, eh?
No, it's not magic. It's just a horn. Oh my god.
Hmm.
The guy thought he was funny and decided to trap the one non-magic thing in the room. I guess he knew his audience. Bookstrap too, just don't pick it up. It's like curse or something.
Yes, you've already said that.
Yeah, I can see the necromancy.
Yes, there's also gestures to you.
Oh, that was from the horn.
I
Either
see.
way, they're likely both trapped with the same thing.
No,
Why
maybe.
not?
I suppose I could find out.
Do not.
I mean,
Just in case it's not.
curses don't double up. Let me check.
No, do not.
Aaron's gonna just use Arcana to identify the rune on the book.
I mean, it's certainly a necromancy rune. Though that much you already kind of knew.
Yeah, it's necromancy. The book. It's not the same rune, I guess.
Then perhaps Ash and I should actually use magical abilities to examine it.
Go for it.
So yeah, detect magic as well.
Go for it, knowledge arcana. I should also note as Epos gets closer, the bird looks.
Like concerned, frantic.
Yeah, like it doesn't want to go near the cave.
No.
Assuming, depending.
Epos gets close, but he's not going into the cave yet. But as the bird gets frantic, he'll just sort of try and stop and try and calm it down.
Give me a diplomacy.
My druid stuff, I believe, will give me a bonuses because effectively I'm wild empathying it. Yes.
Yeah. You could wild empathy.
What? It's half druid level on it, I believe.
I think it's full druid plus charisma.
Yeah, but you don't have wild empathy.
Yes,
Oh,
I
it does.
do.
Do you? I thought you had
Yeah.
wild.
I believe I check this every week, and it doesn't replace wild empathy. It replaces my medium armor proficiency, not wild
Yes.
empathy.
Huh.
So I have both.
Yeah, it's charisma plus level.
Right, so just add our 3 onto this for the level. It's 17.
Okay. The bird calms down slightly. Before you get a mental image. This time it's not of the plain-faced boy,
Okay.
but of a man, shadow coating his face as he steps out into the night. And then the bird kind of just looks back to the cave again.
So my head's going in like 4 different directions at the moment. So Ipos is assuming this other shadow man is what's freaking the bird out, and he seemed to have been in the cave.
Chirp for yes. Assuming Ipos is kind of like trying to reason it out with the bird.
Yeah. There's always a little back and forth of, did you mean this? Did you mean that? And there's a definite feeling of that the Shadow Man's not the same person as the plain man or the undead thing.
No, that's definitely his own whole fear category for a bird. The big thing was obviously scary, but the bird didn't feel that much fear towards it. The plain-faced man, there wasn't any fear. This shadowy faced man, there's a lot of fear.
Okay.
Also, Silas, you're pretty sure that was a glyph of warding with a spell loaded in it.
Ah,
Ipos will
It
just
is
sit
probably
up
the same.
below this tree.
Well, Mimel is fussing over Aaron. So you got in, sneaked and got yourself cursed. Anything else?
There's this book. No one could read it. There's a horn. Dogs. Lots of dogs. Actually, there's a room that was probably down the hall from there that I didn't want to go down because there's a bunch of dogs in it. That was a lot of breathing. Probably more than 5, 6 in there.
Hmm.
Other than that, there was also the small little tunnel down the side room that led somewhere that I don't know. Too small for like a normal human to fit through, unless they're like extremely flexible. But I could fit down it.
Interesting.
But then I got, turned bright red, and then I decided it was best to just cut my losses and leave. And then I was almost caught by a dog, but then I climbed on the roof.
Good job, I guess.
Oh my god. And there apparently wasn't any alarm spells because the guy hasn't like superhero landed near us, raged. So
Well, there's always the version that is the mental ping, which
which would have made it rush here and say, "Yo."
I would like to think if you were rushing here, one of us would have heard maybe him flying down as she looks up into the sky.
Oh my god. I'm so bored. And
J-Mac,
bright
what time
red.
is it?
What, Rose, sorry?
What time is it?
Still afternoon. Not
Okay.
that much time has passed.
When
But
if it's getting like a little bit darker, I'm probably gonna yell at people to actually go, not be in the open area.
Oh yes, please. I will hide in my bright redness.
We'll figure you out.
but if
Just
yeah,
throw a blanket over her.
this technically works.
Ah yes, the sleeping bag of justice.
Sleeping bag of stealth.
But the group can set up somewhere and basically wait until they show up.
Yeah.
Just
Erin's gonna go by Wolf, hang out by him, shove herself in sort of a sleeping bag. So if like shit goes bad, Wolf could pick her up like a burrito.
What?
Ipos will eventually
I can't.
inform the rest of the group about the Shadow Man and how the bird is freaking the fuck out because of him.
What,
I
Aaron?
can't ride Rusty while I'm in a sleeping bag. And so I'm putting myself next to you, so if things go bad, you can pick up the sleeping bag and me within the sleeping bag. You can carry the sleeping bag with me inside, so I'm more safe. Because I can't like peek or look for anybody; they'll see me. I am literally bright red. It's like in my eyes too. It's pretty obnoxious.
Okay.
yes. What I was saying now is yes, as people are rolling roll stealth checks, but also place yourself where you think you'd want to be on the map. As you're born, the closer you are, the better chance of you being spotted, basically. The further away you are, the less chance.
I'm,
Well,
temp-
also,
Exactly, Delana back.
I'm tempted to have Ipos like in that tree next to the mouth, but he won't. He'll be back in this tree.
I should also note the closer you are, potentially the more you can learn and slash or do if you actually decides to go beat his ass.
Aaron?
Here, actually, I have a plan. Oh my god, this is gonna be humiliating. Erin takes her
Really?
sleeping bag, takes out a box, opens the box, pulls out all the sludge, wipes off the cape a bit, wraps the sleeping bag in
Okay.
sludge, rolls around in a bunch of leaves, covering the sleeping bag and the cloak and herself in leaves and stuff. And so she looks like a pile of leaves. And okay, I'm gonna get in the sleeping bag. And Wolf, could you like plop me near the door or something? I
I'll,
can't.
I'll do exactly what Aaron asks.
And then I just won't leave the
Ah.
sleeping bag and be a pile of leaves.
Okay, so you want Wolf to basically bury you a little bit?
What? Sorry?
Wait, so you're saying basically you're wrapped yourself up in your cloak, which gets all sticky, so you get your stealth bonus, and then you're wrapping yourself up in the sleeping bag, and then you're basically asking Wolf to just like bury you a little bit underneath leaves and shit.
Yeah,
I recommend putting
and
you under the
mostly
tree.
because I will only be able to listen because I can't reveal any of myself because I'm covered in fairy fire. And if I do most of the rolling around in leaves by just with my arms, I'll leave the fairy fire stuff all over my stuff, negating the fact that I'm in a sleeping bag. Because fairy fire spreads to what you're touching, kind of. So if I just stick myself in a sleeping bag and then are like sealed within it, then Wolf can go place me next to like a pile of leaves or something,
I mean,
and be a burrito.
Wood Kinetic says, I conjure leaves.
Yeah.
Jamek, remind me. Curiosity can sort of go ethereal, not attached to me, right?
Only attached to people.
Only attached to people.
Unless you want to take that, I believe there is one of her abilities lets one go ethereal for a short while, but I can't remember.
Right, yeah. But they are still
Can't have
doing stealth, so.
Is it like autumn right now, Jay?
What, sorry?
Autumn yet? Or pure summer?
It's autumnish. It's just that the spirits are currently making it feel like the weather is summer.
I saw like an orangey tree down here. In that case, I'm just going to create tons and tons of leaves. Just to
Like,
help
be
Aaron
there.
blend.
Sure, you can channel your kinesis powers to create tons of leaves. I guess give everyone an aid.
I am buried in leaves and sludge.
Also,
I
Tinder,
think-
you were saying something?
Was I?
I can't remember. I heard you tried to mention something at some point. I wasn't sure if you were
Yeah.
going to say something about how Apos was hiding.
No, Ibos is hiding in that tree. I mentioned that ages ago. The only other thing
Yeah.
I was saying was I recommended Erin going under the tree so the big pile of leaves looked more natural.
That's what's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I didn't
Yeah.
mention it again.
Wolf conjuring the leaves though by gathering powers that can assist all the woodland starting to erupt from around him, and then just spraying everywhere.
Right. Let me just write it.
Oh,
And I
boy.
got 11 or 12 rather. Ash also got 12. Apos got a 29. Ash
Well,
rolled no wisdom.
Everyone prepared for
Oh,
the worst one.
that was for something else.
Right. Let's see, who are we missing? Oh, holy shit, Wolf.
With a +1 bonus, that's the best I could do.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm
Is
gonna
Rusty
stealth.
Or
just-
Silas, who rolled a
Rusty's gonna go wander off and be a rock or something. He's gonna like sit here and pretend to be part of a rock.
They're buried in leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silas is hiding way back, so
Fair enough.
Buried in leaves.
It does become a point where if you're just back enough, you're just automatically hidden, but yeah. Da, da, da.
38. I am the stealthiest burrito.
Remember, enemies take a -2 penalty on perception checks for every 10 feet away they are.
Yep.
it's very true. Yeah.
So do you.
It does mean though, at a distance of 250 feet, no one's seeing you.
Unless they're
Yeah.
Joltes.
Oh wait, no, that's a 40. It's night. Not that it really matters that I'm wearing a shirt because I'm a burrito.
It will be dark when you appear. Lillian.
Creature standing out in the open is fairly easy to see, so that's good.
These are our final results. And I'm afraid you won't have Roland for this, as he'll be probably like back here. He's aware that stealth is not his forte in any realm.
That's fine. Alana also moved herself back because I stared at myself and went,
Okay then. Night falls. Aaron. It's actually kind of warm under there. It's kind of nice.
Summer,
Yep.
and I'm in a sleeping bag, covered in ooze, covered in leaves, covered in other junk. It's kind of warm.
The others
I
are
am very thankful that I cast protection
your
from the elements.
allowance.
Yeah,
Yeah, that probably helps a lot actually.
it's a bit stuffy.
The others are treated to the view of dusk falling. As the night darkens enough that it'd be kind of difficult to look up into the sky to see anything beyond stars, there's suddenly the flapping of wings as a shape descends. The same sight Alana saw a couple of days ago. This huge, gigantic undead, stitched up of many bodies it seems, covered in bony growths and metal plates, drops to the ground heavily. It lowers itself down gently to let its passenger off, who steps off. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I forgot curiosity. We got 29. Where is his character card? There it is.
I'll see on there already. Right under
Did I?
their boots.
Oh yeah, I can't read. I still see him, probably thought it was someone else. Ooh. As they go to head inside, the person stops and says, "Wait a moment. Just over there, please." As he points to the beast in it, looks to him questioningly and walks over here. He looks out this way, looking into the forest, before speaking in a quiet voice but loudly. "You're back again, aren't you? Come on. I know you're there. I sensed you that other night." As he points, unfortunately, Alana knows exactly who he points to. He points all the way down south to Roland,
oh no.
who currently is looking quite wide-eyed. "Come closer. It's a pain in the ass to shout this far."
Alana's gonna go ahead and get herself out of the tree. She doesn't think that she's not really worried about alerting the others because she's very acrobatic in that regard, and she can probably get herself out decently quietly. Let's
We'll
find
just
out as I say
Try
that.
and
All.
get closer.
Well, no, she's just moving herself because she's protective.
Okay then.
Solana's immediate. I don't care anymore. I want to make sure this person doesn't, I don't know, turn my boyfriend's face and also into a wood. Can I do that? Who knows?
Voids are notoriously hard to kiss, after all.
Solana's gonna move herself over
But say
here.
something very cursed.
I would like to say, just for precedent, I'm remaining stealthed.
Understandable.
Alana's not necessarily remaining stealth anymore. If they happen to like look this way, she's making sure she's away from Ash. She doesn't want to reveal Ash. That was more what the concern was, if anything.
They don't currently see you,
Okay.
ironically.
Well, I know that they have a -1 perception based off of last time.
Mm. Roland looks to. He can see you, thankfully, just because no cover. But he walks closer and goes, "Yes." The figure kind of gives him a look. No offense, but when I was expecting to be confronted, probably by the authorities, I was expecting someone a bit more imposing. Roland looks to the side
Wow.
and goes, "Shut up." I have to say, I'm quite at a loss for words. What are you doing here?
Oh no.
Stargazing.
This is where Alana slowly scooters around the tree, making sure to stay as stealth as she can.
I mean, there's a chance he might actually buy it. The figure just kind of gives him a look over. Okay then. He looks to his. You have to forgive me if I don't quite believe you. Also, as Alana gets closer, I see you have company.
Alana lets out a wave. She's quiet mainly because she knows her voice does not travel well, like at all.
Well, come on. I'm sure you two have questions if you're here watching me in the woods. No?
I mean, Alana just kind of racks her brain trying to find the best way to go about this. I kind of recognize you, I think, from somewhere.
Oh? A lot.
Um,
I'd be surprised if anyone could recognize me now.
I'm guessing that has to do with vague gesture of face. She has no tact.
He tilts his head. My face? Oh, this is a spell. I do have a face.
Oh, yes, of course.
Why was that your first assumption that I didn't have a face?
I don't know. All I can see is I'm not close enough to really think about it.
He just kind of looks at you. Okay then. He motions to the beast who starts to follow him.
Please don't step on me.
He doesn't.
Good.
Turns out the monster just loves jumping in piles of leaves.
Scrunch. No.
He's a giant kid at heart.
As he comes up to the ledge, he says, "Look, you two seem awkward, so I'm just going to give you a bit of advice. There's nothing good will happen if you try and poke him more in what I'm doing. Just know that I have good reasons for it.
Then maybe you should tell us the reasons?
I mean, I did say if you had any questions, asked, and then you kind of went,
Listen, I'm not good at being put on the spot.
then come back when you are."
Alana just kind of rolls her eyes.
What are you doing?
It's where Alana. So it's walking forward because
He looks over. There's more of you?
No, it's just a talking leaf pile. I mean, okay.
Yes, forgive me if I don't quite believe that.
I honestly I would show myself, but I can't really move because I'm stuffed in a sleeping bag covered in leaves, and it's gotten
Alana
quite heavy as it's sort of gotten mist and stuff, and it's kind of gotten soggy, and I'm not strong enough to actually remove myself from said burrito.
Alana quickly says, "Please don't hurt her. She's a very crippled girl who can't really walk. She's kind of already hindered herself."
Yeah,
Ash just kind of comes out of the woodwork as well and goes, "Oh, are we dropping the pretenses now?"
well,
Alana, I mean, other people want to stay stealth. Alon's looking back at rolling, going,
Ipos is staying stealth.
I'm finding my patience quite tested. Also, Big B, you will be getting an actual description of him when this ends. So I'm not gonna do it right now. As curiosity can see what we look like. But he says, my patience is coming quite swiftly to an end. If you will, I will let you take your friend back and let you leave.
Thought there was going to be questions. That's why I asked.
Yes, but now I'm starting to see that there's a lot more of you. Which makes me think that you were going to try something.
It was more about the fact that there's undead everywhere, and we're curious why there are. It's
We
not really
didn't suggest-
necessarily against you, it's more against the fact that there's undead, and we want them to not attack random people.
Yes, who are you? Why are you creating undead? Why does it look like you're sapping the life out of trees, and why are you corrupting the local wildlife?
I mean, if it's on accident, that's fine. I mean, no offense, dude, it's kind of strange, but I mean, everyone has a hobby.
I mean, Alon looks back at Roland. He can't be healed by positive energy, and that's not really his fault. I'm not going to hold something against you if you can't help it. It's just, disconcerting when you walk in here and just see trees burnt to an ash, quite literally, and you happen to notice spirits of animals that shouldn't act the way they are. Like struggles to word herself here.
The trees were not me. I'm not quite sure what happened to them. He sighs. I assume when you mention the animals, you mean the shrike.
Alana nods.
It was unfortunate that I met it when I did, but, well, let's just say what I do is not necessarily good for one's soul.
That's sad.
Okay, yes, I tire of this. I'll let you take your friend and leave, but otherwise, well,
He hears a whistle from under a pile of leaves, and then a thunderous sound of a metal dog running over to go pick up Aaron.
um,
He also won't hurt you. He's her wheelchair, so to speak.
Thank you, Rusty. Rusty picks up the burrito with his mouth. um, can I ask one last question?
go then.
Did you make him
Yes.
cool? Uh, and does this wear off? Aaron manages to wiggle a hand out of the sleeping bag.
He frowns. I'll let you find that out for yourself.
Damn it!
I mean, that's kind of what you get for just walking around poking
I
random
was.
things in a cave.
I do that with everybody.
The wolves rather, the wolves in the cave. What exactly did Alana? It's very awkward and hard to understand where she's going with this. I'm asking, did you do that to them? They seem more intelligent than your average animal.
I did believe I said no more questions, but suffice to say they're in a much worse state until I found them. Like, go.
I mean,
It's dangerous to be out at night for people as young as you.
Alana tilts her head. I'm 55. Sorry.
Wolf breaks stealth with. Wait, you're that old?
Oh no.
Wait. What? Really?
No, she's 56. I'm sorry.
Wolf up shelf is all gone now. that surprised him.
Goddamn. I mean, if you're part Alana just looks very confused. Demon, I guess. I don't know what I am. And then you kind of age at a different rate than everyone else. I'm 56 in human years. Okay, bye.
All right. Aaron says, still carried by Rusty.
On T-Mac, no, he had features. I can zoom in on that really closely.
It's
And
tiny,
outline.
safe, but also technically Big B will see this afterwards anyway.
As he enters the cave, Ipos finally drops out of the tree and removes his own stealth. And is like, "And you threaten Ipos if he ruin this, and then all you do all that? What?"
I'm a little upset at the others. However, Alonso looks back at Roland. I'm also concerned for him because quite frankly, Roland can't help the fact that he can't really stealth himself. It's kind of.
Yeah, that not his fault. And Ippos understand you coming out because this you all your thing. And then everyone else just wander out and start throwing questions and
Hey, he seemed
upsetting
reasonable, so I
man.
started asking questions.
Ugh.
He even asked if anyone had any questions, so I, with everyone else failing to do so, I decided to take the role as the party question asker.
I'm a little upset with you for doing that, considering he already seemed upset that there was two of us, let alone
Well, I was
Alana's
hoping
kind
to
of.
keep it at 3.
Ippos is just face palming at this point.
Alana's size.
I'm really not that good at hiding. When he was looking my way, I guess he'd already seen me.
So he is making the undead. He claims that the wolves were in a worse state before he came along.
Likely actually dead.
I do believe him regarding that, honestly. Uh,
Big
I
undead thing's
mean,
kind of cool. Question, J-Mac.
We.
It smells bad. It's
Yeah.
obviously necromantic in nature.
Yeah.
Is it a undead?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering because there are like flesh golems and stuff like that.
This is not a. This is. I mean, you could probably technically call it a flesh golem in the fact that it's made of flesh and it's like an automaton.
Okay, is that is it actually a like
It is.
an
It is
construct?
literally undead.
Okay. I mean, necromancy is a bit uncouth, but
I mean, necromancy in itself is evil by nature. However, if he can't help what he's doing, which is the main thing, whether it's via something looming over him, some form of curse, then it's more of our goal to free him of what's going on as opposed to thinking he's an enemy.
oh, also I kind of forgot to give him his book back, so he'll probably be back outside in a few minutes.
Ippos face palms again.
Look,
What's this
I'm trapped in a sleeping bag. What do you want from
What
me?
does the book have on it in terms of trap?
A big necromantic curse sigil thing. Don't touch it.
The glyph of warding, as Silas discovered.
So it wouldn't warn him if it went off, right?
No, it would not warn him if it went off, but he will notice that I took the book off his desk.
That's pretty much a short of it, yeah. And you could certainly follow Silas's advice of move a little bit further away from the cave.
No, I'd like to toss the book at the cave, so that's at least over there.
Okay.
Give me a second. Aaron disappears back into the sleeping bag. Shuffs out a bag out the front of it, then goes back to being seen out the front of the sleeping bag.
You need help, Aaron.
Do I have
Yeah.
maybe on?
Well, it's in a bag currently. You can pick it up. It's just don't touch
Alright,
the
that's
book
fair.
itself.
Okay, Alana will just take the bag and walk over to the cave and put it down and walk back.
Meanwhile, Dash is going to try to help scrape Aaron out of the sleeping bag.
It's
Ala-
not hard.
Wait,
It's
hold
just weak.
Alana's is also going to write sorry in the dirt. She'll take the time to do this. She has a scarf that can stab the dirt.
Okay. A very interesting reaction, I have to say.
we can always just go and kick his ass. It's not. I'm
Oh
not
no,
too
certainly. It's just nice to see what happens when you technically pose someone who's not immediately hostile and then just get and you kind of go, oh, okay.
I mean, unless okay, what does Alana's scarf want her to do here?
Murder, kill, evil.
What if it's not his
Oh,
fault?
okay. Not quite. Agnedas does say he seems very vague.
conducting evil for a good sake. So story is all this time. Oh shit! Aaron flops to
don't-
the ground as Ash pulls her out.
I don't know if it's for a good sake yet per se, but I don't think it's worthwhile just killing him outright. If nothing else, maybe I'll just come back at some point and try and talk to him myself, by myself, without a bunch of people randomly appearing out of nowhere. If I
mean-
die, I die.
That last moment of talking truly inspires confidence in me that you'll be able to get to him.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
he
wasn't
doesn't
expecting
seem
him to
like
be
the sharing
reasonable.
type.
I mean, preferably do not die my chosen. It would be most unfortunate considering the years upon years of our so delightful bond.
Alana just stares at her scarf.
Like, what I mean is, should this person prove to be a bigger threat than you can handle, you can always deal with it later.
I know. I want to find out more though. Silas says he has something, so we can go deal with that. As
Hey,
Alana's walk
Hippos.
over here.
Yeah.
This will probably solve a big question. What was wrong with the wolves before he met them? Does the bird know?
Verb.
Herb cocks its head. First, it shows you the image of a pack of wolves. Second, just blackness. And then third, them as they appear now. To Apos, they appear, it's hard to say, possessed?
Hmm.
There's almost like a human-like intelligence behind their eyes.
But does it feel, from the images, does it feel like they were possessed while living or after they died?
The bird is not quite sure. Just knows that, judging from it, that they disappeared for a while and then they reappeared again with this person.
But not know. Wolves were here, all good, all happy, then went away for a while. Then when they come back, they were this person and different. They, like, almost like something controlling them, maybe? Like, possessed, maybe?
Oh, that's interesting. So,
Okay, that's where you've got. J-Mac, you need to make these maps smaller.
So,
Finally.
it was potentially going to be a combat map, so there could be a little space.
Yeah, but there's a bit of space, and then there's,
I mean,
like,
yeah, I know.
how wide is this map?
hey, as
Well,
the
like,
local turbo
400
speed
feet
character,
across?
as the local turbo character, I appreciate the extra room to run around.
Yeah, but this is like long-range spell range.
Look, sometimes it's very easy to put a number in how big was this map and go, yeah, that seems like a reasonable number, and then realize maybe not.
Nah, I think it's fine.
Then-
This is more accurate to what
So,
these-
are we gonna just, force the issue? I mean, we don't have to kill him, but we can just,
Silas,
beat him up a bit.
you had something to say?
I need one moment as curiosity flies back over and lands on Silas's shoulder.
Ugh.
One moment. I'm gathering curiosity's memories. But she does so.
Which, well, you saw him with a very tiny chat image. You see his face. A blonde man.
Gasp! It's him.
Unfortunately, mm,
I don't know who that is.
though, Silas, you can roll my knowledge and ability.
Okay. Curiosity, you've gathered a lot of little info here and there. Things. Yayed me. Yay.
Windows, please stop yelling at me.
Really?
17? So you did roll it too.
No, that's a 15.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know if you who includes aids and whatnot. Let me see. Silas, something's odd. Namely, that you do vaguely recognize that face, but you recognize it from like a very old genealogy book. Well, not
The
very
heritage
old,
book
but
I
old
have.
enough.
I'd literally have a heritage book.
Yeah. And if you want to use your heritage, I mean, it wouldn't really matter because it wouldn't break 5, but you could certainly flip it open, I guess, to show the others, as it details some of the more prevalent families amongst the noble circles in the continent. And indeed, it appears, well, at least from what Alana recognized, he is indeed from Lucion. Lucion, I can't fucking pronounce it. But anyway, but as you trace back the family tree, Dominic is his name. But the strange thing is, with the portrait isn't like too far off from how he looks now, but judging by the years, that was taken almost 70 years ago.
That is who he is. Or at the very least, who he looks like now.
But which, Alana, that is one of the families that your family busted up for slavery. Specifically, his father was involved in a sorceress slave ring. Basically, children of sorceress awakening would be sold to researchers made into assassins, whatnot, just for their magical power. Obviously, your mother took a keen interest into that and decided, I'm having none of that. So, well, you can guess what happened.
Well, that makes Alana not like this person a little bit more, but doesn't mean that he condones what happened. Also, wasn't he pretty far away from home?
I mean, yes, it's quite literally the other side of the where you are. As I will
Yeah,
quickly
okay.
flash over to the world map, if I can remember where it is. Where it is. for reference, you are here, and the place he's from is over here.
Other side of the known world. Goddamn.
Technically, there is other world out here. It's just far away and very inconvenient to get to.
What our characters likely know as the known world.
Yeah, probably. Beyond the apparently gigantic floating city that came here. Probably not too far off, yeah. Anyway.
Well then.
So judging by how Curiosity looked at him, doesn't look as if he'd aged 70 years. Oh, my browser did not like that.
Yeah, seems a wee bit old. If he is dabbling in necromancy, that may be why.
Oh god, he's stealing life energy to extend his own, isn't he?
There's a lot of things he could be doing. That is one of them, yes. Another thing is, it could just be a disguise of what he used to look like, and now he is undead himself.
Could be a vampire.
That is possible. There are many things that could be about him, but we don't know.
He did go out during the day, though, I mean, he has that weird shadowiness around him, Lilian points out. So I suppose he could be protecting himself from the sun with that.
Yes, he could.
Vampires are real.
They are. Again,
I mean, I
they're-
don't know a lot about vampires. All I know is they look a lot like normal people, except when you're really up close and way
burn
too
in
close to
sunlight,
them.
yes.
And they're
Only symbols repel
undead,
them.
they burn in sunlight.
Only symbols repel them.
Oh right, yes, that is a thing. I don't carry one on me, so
Oh,
it's
so
not
does
something I've
Garlic.
ever had to.
Alana looks at her scarf, which in itself is a holy symbol.
Wolf,
Oh
Wolf,
right,
pu-
garlic.
Wolf reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small wooden holy symbol.
There you go. But yes,
Right,
I
garlic.
do not
Now would be
know,
a
though.
great time to still be in the farmlands.
He is, but he seems affable, and I still do not trust that because no good person consorts with undead. Undead are not good just by raw nature of themselves.
Maybe he needed some help. I mean, it's the same reason why I would make a construct. It's just I don't have
Yes,
spare bodies.
Yes, but constructs are not the mangled corpses and potentially souls of dead people
Some of
reanimated.
but don't use souls.
Yes, and that is where the inherent evil comes in. It is an enslaving of the spirit of those dead.
I don't know what the process is.
It's not good. Tampering with life in that sense is not good. There's a reason why it is not condoned by any of the good gods, or really any of the non-evil gods.
I'd like to think Mrs. Sort of Paladin would be able to differentiate between what is not an undead and also what is very much an undead.
Yeah, pretty safe assumption.
Still, I do not feel that it is good that he is here. At the very least, he is causing some sort of disturbance, as is the case with the Shrike and the wolves, apparently.
And the swarms of undead in the region that Wolf and I had to go kill.
Yes. So those may be tied to him, which we do not know, no matter how affable he is and how seemingly willing to look the other way to not have trouble caused for himself. There is more to him than meets the eye, and either we need to investigate more, or we need to bring someone in to investigate more.
I mean, standard protocol for necromancers in most countries, after all, is usually put them down. They tend to be the sort to cause massive issues wherever they go, thanks to the fact that they can, take a dead body, make a killing machine.
Well,
Yes, but we are
In-
students
in Desla, we really only do stuff like that to black necromancers. Greys are generally kept under watch.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
but
I
if
There
I
are a
never
recall,
know.
number of white necromancers, actually.
if I recall from my studies, though, the creation of undead is very much a black necromancy thing. However, you are
Yes.
correct. Grey necromancy is the control of undead, or the control of undead falls under that naturally created undead, or stealing them from a black
I mean,
necromancer's
that's
control,
the entire reason why I asked if he made that, and he said yes. So
and yes, then that is black necromancy, which is decidedly
I'm completely ambivalent on this. I don't care.
it is not a matter of caring.
No. I mean, like in the terms of, are we storming the castle, or are we going to let him just sort of hang out?
Ah,
Well, as a practitioner of black necromancy, he must be stopped.
Maybe be polite about stopping him. Like, hey, dude, I mean, don't. And if he says no, we just hit him. And he says stop,
yes.
and he says no, and
Again,
we hit him.
there's as as shown, he does seem fairly affable, so he may be convinced to lay down his methods.
Yeah, just ask him what the hell's going on.
And as students of Soul Ridge Academy, we are a bit exceptional compared to the rest of the world.
You are quite the
we?
optimist, aren't you, Silas?
I perhaps I'm not certain how to respond to that. I do not know what I'm being optimistic about.
You think he's going to stop?
I'm being realistic in that he is affable, and as such he seems reasonable, in which means he potentially is reasonable enough to stop. That is realism. Pessimism is believing that just because he has performed black necromancy doesn't mean he will change.
No, I mean, he's here on a very specific ideal. He's clearly working towards some kind of goal and rather fervently, and has unbound himself to the ties of good morality to achieve that end.
I mean, do we truly know that, though? All we know is there is a man here who has undead living in a cave,
Well,
and that
Who's
there are
working towards
undead
something.
around. It is
There's-
likely, yes.
there's
But it's
two
not
ways to
guaranteed.
find out. There's to go in there, or Lily untaps the book. Oh wait, you threw that back. Never mind. There's one way to find out.
Well,
Well,
technically,
there's
we'll put it by the mouth of the cave. He
You
hasn't
can
come out
come
and
get
got
the
it yet.
book if you want it.
Never mind. There's still two methods. Figure out what's in the book, or go. I don't know.
let us focus on the book. At the very least, he is going to be on his guard for us, so if we attempt to go back in there, it will not be pretty. Or it is likely not to be pretty. For now, we should go back and regroup. Potentially also inform teachers or other potentially more powerful people than us.
That much I agree on.
Then settled. We should go back and regroup and consolidate our information and forces.
So it's getting quite late, and you've also not ate dinner.
What are you talking about? Wolf's sitting here munching on fruit.
Okay, that's not just because you can. That's a snack.
Fruit I can produce. And
Still
veggies.
not
I can have a salad. I can have a full-fledged salad to it.
Okay, that's true.
Beef jerky.
Home time, Ben. Wait, so final thing. You taking the book again, or are you just leaving it in the mouth of the cave?
Yeah, let's take the book. Screw this guy, whoever he is.
Yeah, I'll have curiosity grab
Do
it.
your curiosity just sees marked in the sand? Dirt. Sorry.
Oh, did you take the book back?
No, that was from Alana doing
Oh,
it, but
okay.
yeah, you can leave. Does he plus want the bridge to go with him?
He's not
Does-
stuffing it in a jar or anything, but
Yeah.
he's not shooing it away either. If it comes with him, it comes with him.
In which case, the bird will come with
New friend.
a more comfy perch. A strange man living in the cave. Numerous undead? Question mark. But at least you got what appears to be his diary. As on the way back.
On the way back, Aaron's gonna sort of pull up beside Alana. Yo, Alana. Hey.
Hmm.
Uh, ignoring everybody else's opinion, what's your take on this?
On the dude and
Yeah.
his sock puppet. I mean, my scarf is torn
Ignoring
between.
everyone else's opinion.
No, listen. My scarf is the reason I wanted to come to begin with, so I am listening to it. It is important to me in that regard. And while it was on the idea of just kill it and get it over with, it kind of seems torn now. So there's something going on here that at least even my scarf's not 100% sure on. My own opinion is that it is acting irrationally and killing someone and regretting it later is not the best thing to do.
Mm. Okay. All right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Anything that we should look into in the meantime? I'm not great with ciphers.
Uh,
Or should I just keep looking into Wolf's calling thing and yeah.
I would just look into Wolf for now. I'm gonna see what I can find out.
Okay. Let me know if I can help, but it's kind of outside my realm of expertise, the undead and whatnot.
What does the first entry say, JMac?
I'm writing it out.
Oh, okay. Alana just kind of shrugs. It's interesting to have something I'm supposed to feel sympathetic for that goes against what I'm all about, quite frankly. So we'll see if it doesn't bite me in the ass later.
Hmm. Who identified the passage?
Well, whoever in the party has highest linguistics, I suppose, as you can ride back on horses.
Probably me.
Yours.
My linguistics is 12.
Okay, yeah. I'm only
Jesus Christ. I mean, we probably should have expected that, but still, Jesus Christ.
Are you gonna share that entry with everybody, or?
I mean, Alana's is really sad looking it over. I immediately asked her Scarf about it.
What's the face for?
This entry is pretty depressing, honestly. Hold on.
Okay.
Does Agna have any
Oh.
opinion on this?
I can't read. No. You're mostly quiet going, I suppose you're right, Ben. There is something else here. Another amnesiac? How many of us are you going to run into, Alana?
She shrugged.
Maybe you should start
Eh,
a club.
I no, I don't want to start a club on having amnesia.
Wait, what? Amnesia?
She's talking with her Scarf telepathically.
Oh, is it telepathic? I thought. Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Well, technically, Agnodice's part is telepathic. I don't know if you can necessarily apply mentally.
Oh no, I probably can't. You're right. So Alana just mutters that.
Ash is used to seeing people talk with familiars. This
Wait.
isn't anything unusual.
Amnesiac?
He seems to have forgotten some things about himself.
Why is that a common occurrence?
Alana's looks flustered. Don't worry about it.
Wait. No. Wait. Okay. Time out. We know two amnesiacs. Wait. Huh. How old did you say this family was?
Fairly
He-
old.
Yes, from what I know, his portrait was taken 80 years ago.
Portrait was
The
taken
family
in
is very,
80s.
or 70 years, yes. The family is very old. Not a new family. But
80
he
years.
himself would be 70 years at the minimum ago. So, given what he looks like, he's potentially 90, 100.
Ippos, how long ago was that
60,
the witch trial?
60 years.
60 years. So that means he would have had to been okay during that period of time. We just found someone down there from 8 years ago.
I'm going to point out that's when the witch trial was, not when the school disappeared. The school
Right.
disappeared, what was it, like 40 years before she came back?
64. Says 4 years before she appeared.
Ah, right. So the school disappeared 64 years ago, she reappeared 60 years and had a witch trial.
That's still within the time frame that could be possible. Because if the painting was taken 80 years ago, he probably was doing other things too.
Let's draw a timeline.
Okay, something about that basement's making people lose time and wipe their memory. Because the person who came out of the witch trial was spouting gibberish.
Not spouting gibberish, just many languages.
It was essentially gibberish.
Not really, we did translate it.
Did you? I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, let me use that. We did translate it between like the entire.
If you need it, I should have it somewhere. God damn it, I hate that there's a future I'm gonna go for it.
There it is. There you go. It wasn't gibberish, it was actual, like, speech which made sense, just like every sentence was in a different language.
Oh no. Um, his name was Dominique. Dom. That's a short name.
Yes, it is.
Okay, she was trapped down there with Dominique. Dominique recently got out, probably after or before the witch trial, or was spouted out recently and is now trying to pick up the pieces. And he's just trying to do what is best and what he knows how to do, which is necromancy. And since he was probably taught something by the mother who don't let her out. Maybe the mother taught, don't let her out. Talked to him about maybe taught him necromancy. But we need to figure out what he's talking about in that regard. We know who he is. He's from the previous school. That's good.
Did we find out what the other kid's name was? The other guy we found in the dungeon?
Yeah, Theodric, but that was only 8 years, different time frame.
I mean, does time really matter in the dungeon?
Yes, because when they were lost, it was 80 years ago. He remembers events that happened 8 years ago in free air and it never came to the school.
It's entirely possible. He went to the old school, disappeared, and then got spat back out 10 years ago, and has been living around here since then.
But we pulled him out of a jug.
Well, I mean, sorry, I get my heads in many different places. I mean, it's entirely possible he disappeared 80 years ago when the school disappeared. And then, because of the weird way the dungeon changes its layout, changes what creatures are in it, blah 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 blah, he could have only reappeared in the dungeon when we found him, or something.
Yeah, that's fine, but they're not part of the same party. Because Leodric remembers things that happened in free air 8 years ago, things that the other party would have no association with. And it's wibbly wobbly, but they wouldn't know each other. Doesn't mean it's not the same event or something that could
move on.
cause the same thing.
Move on.
Yeah. I'll have to think about this. I'll look into it. I'll go back through the school records and see if there's anything about disappearances within the basement or things about time magic. It's something I could look into.
Lillian
Maybe.
picks up time magic. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Time magic. We found Theodric, who disappeared 8 years ago, and apparently remembers nothing. And then we just found this guy who was apparently 80 years ago and knew the witch trial that Ipos is investigating. Knew the girl in the witch trial that the Ipos is investigating.
You said the other guy, Leodric, is on campus, yes?
Yeah, he's in the med ward currently.
I mean, if there's anything time magic-y going on, I could take a look and see if I recognize anything.
Well, there's a lot of other magic going on with him, but we
Yes, but
wish you the best.
I'll try.
I
I'm
need to
also
get
worried
going,
when
I
that
know.
happens. Because, no offense, I feel like I've kind of been dropped down a pair of stairs and now suddenly everyone's like, this is happening.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. There's a lot of things going on, but we're trying to figure out.
Yes, I can see that at least.
Yeah. However, personally, I need to get going. Research, and also real Tommy needs to go and golf.
Mini golf?
No.
Boring
Yep.
regular golf.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye. Conundrum and Furrows. People from 8 years? 8 years? Something like that back. Now they're all suddenly appearing now. What could it mean? Who knows? But for now, this is where we will end. As perhaps Ricard just need to have a think about it to maybe see if we feel we have any other hints or leads that might be able to shed some more light.
And does anyone here not have amnesia?
I mean, none of you do.
Don't I?